Alrighty, back at working on the Pong board, and I just finished installing some stuff. I installed a credit switch for this board. But the thing is, this is Space Ball, and my harness was for winter, and I think the wiring is different for winter. I mean, it's very similar, but slightly different. The video and the power is the same, but I think the controls and the credit button pins are different. So I wired this based on this board. And the credit button is working. I got that working. There was a capacitor and a resistor on the back side. I removed the capacitor and I jumped the resistor, just shorted it, and that was based on, let's see if I can find it in the schematic here. Okay, this schematic here. I wrote in what they had. There was a 30 ohm resistor in series here going up here, and I didn't bother with the capacitor, but basically it was between this point and 5 volts. Not sure what that was all about. I removed the capacitor and I shorted over the resistor, and now the reset circuit works. When a coin is dropped in, the circuit resets. The counters don't clear. That's a problem I'm going to fix. And also the scoring isn't working. And I think I've got the scoring figured out. So let's see. On this page, these are the counters used for the scoring. One is left player. This is the left player score, and this is the right player score. And there is a there's a missed signal. Whenever that missed signal happens, it's supposed to count. It's supposed to clock the counter and increment the count 1. The missed signal is generated here. Okay, and I've noticed the signal propagates all the way through to this point. Okay, but it doesn't get past this. So this is what I'm going to replace now. It's a 7400 quad NAND at E1. So this chip here, I have an X on it because when I first started looking at the board, I just randomly probed, and this one looks suspicious to me. And apparently it is bad. So I'm going to replace it, and we will see if that gets the scoring. I'll be back. So I've got a 74LS00 here to replace the 7400. Should be fine. Shouldn't be a problem. Let's see if it's going to work now. Well, it did count. It did do something. The number changed. That's different than before. Let's try that again. So you see, when I do a reset, it only goes to 4s. Okay, now that one advanced 1. That was good. Okay. So when the ball scores to the right, I'm sorry, when the ball scores to the left, the right score increments 1, and when the ball scores to the right, this one goes nuts. So, okay. So let me study the schematics and try to figure that out. All right, so when the ball is traveling to the right, when it's going that direction, this R signal is high. Okay? Is that right or is it low? It's one or the other. Let me think. It's going to be low. So when that's low, then that means it's traveling to the right. And when the ball goes off screen, this toggles. This just real quickly, you can't even see it on the scope. You got to use a logic tester to see the signal. Will change, and that signal will come in and will clock this. It should only clock it once. But for some reason, this counter here, located at D7, is not doing that. It's I don't know what it's doing, but it's counting weird. So I'm going to try replacing that to begin with, the 7490 at D7, and let's see if we can get the scoring to work going to the right. Now going to the left, this signal is low, so that allows the miss to trigger a clock here. And that one did trigger 1. So I think we'll start with replacing that. Okay, so I got my wires crossed on these two. I replaced D7, and I think that one was actually good. It was this one. The polarity on this left and right, I think I got backwards. I think when it's high, it's actually indicating it's left, traveling left. So I replaced this one already, and nothing changed. So I suspect this one is bad and this one was good. So I'm putting a brand new one here. I'm putting a brand new one here, and I'm just going to transplant this one to there and see how that goes. And I've already done that. So let's see if it works or not. Get it firing up here. All right, so reset. Okay, that counted. And I think that worked. That one was the one that was already working. Let's go the other direction here. Nope, still broke. So it's not the counter. Well, I really thought it was going to be that. Let me check this flip-flop here. I'll check. This is the same chip, so I'll check those two flip-flops and see if I can see something with the scope or the logic tester. I'll be back. So I replaced both score counters, and it's still the same problem. So on the schematic, I'm seeing this value correctly happening and this one correctly happening. This one goes low when the ball is traveling to the right. So kind of counterintuitive. So when this is low, this signal triggers. It gets a very quick pulse. You can't see it on a scope, but you can see it on a logic analyzer. That value is not propagating out. So this chip here I'm going to replace next. Now down here it's the same chip, just different gate. It works correctly here. You can see this being low when it's going to the left, and then this triggers. I'm sorry, this goes low when traveling to the left, and this triggers. It gives a pulse, and I'm seeing that pulse coming out to the output here. This gate is working. That one doesn't appear to be working, so I'm going to replace F5. Put a 74HCTO2 in there. Logically the same as 7402, but technology is CMOS. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Only way to find out is to try it. Let's see what happens. Nope, still not working. Well, let me test it with the logic tester. And because it might be working now, it's just maybe there's another problem. Too much stuff here. All right, so what do I want to check here? I want to check pin 4 of the thing I just replaced. Pin 4, okay. So it's saying it's low. Let's see what happens. Ah, it slipped. Let me try that again. Okay, it's low. It triggered. So that chip was bad. Yeah, it's working now. The logic probe is registering a transition. So this chip is bad. I'm going to put it in the recycle. So I'll continue looking to see why the counter is jumping up really high and also why the scores aren't zeroing.